microphone might be a bit far away. Good evening on this second to last evening of the year. I'll put my microphone a little bit closer there. That should be slightly better, I hope. How is the audio and video quality? Oh, and less music. Last night the music was actually too loud when I listened it back, so let's turn it down a little bit, shall we? Right, I need to look at the chat if I ask stuff. So let's see who was here before the show started. Draadstaal was first again. I guess he's having a holiday. And Christian Iverson was second. And Jamie is back. LED's camera action. I'm ready and waiting. Nigel Young says hi from the UK. And Perry is back. There we go again. Jacco missed the second stream, but back for part 3. Most important part. Quick look back. It only lasted 4 hours. And Perry spoiled it. No smoke. There was flux smoke. Yeah. Johnny Bergdahl is here. And, I don't know, do you also go to the bars on Saturday? I don't actually know. I was going to say, no bars for you, but I don't actually know. And no pink for Johnny tonight. Yeah, we had a lot of pink yesterday. That is true. Great vid and audio. Nice. Music is never too loud. Well, yesterday when I watched it back on my phone, it's like, it could be a tad less loud. AV good, music too high. Did someone say pink? Oh, someone's from Dr. Zeesville, Utah, US. Yes, bar night again. And tomorrow, wow. Okay, that's more bars than I've seen in I don't know how long. But hey, if you're having fun, that's all good. Yeah, that is true there, Philip. We did feel kind of disappointed, Johnny. We made everything pink, and you leave. What you gonna do? Are you raising the bar? Nice. So we're still in pre-stream, right? Because I need a drink. We're going to drink Fanta Exotic Taste. It's also written with vruchtensap. Yes. Good. If the music is too loud, you are too old. Okay. Kevin Henry the 8th evening all. I can watch this in peace, as I have no wives left to nag me. So you had multiple and they all left, or they died, or they're just out for tonight, or how am I supposed to interpret this? Oh, it's dad jokes. Yeah. Hi from Norway. Love what you make. I use a dig quad in my stairs. Nice. Good. So, just like yesterday, well, I'll casually start wiring some stuff up while we still chat. And then I'll do an introduction to, well, what we made yesterday and what we're going to do today. And, yeah, then we'll get started with the actual tests. Because I was so burnt out yesterday, I didn't even turn anything on. I hit all the switches on the wall here to turn everything off, and I left this room, and I haven't come back since. So I have no clue if this is going to work, just as much as you guys have. So I hope so, but who knows? Alright, let's just put it on the floor, because that's where things go nowadays. Danny, I did have the Coca-Cola that was developed by AI. It was horrible. By far the worst of the special drinks I've ever drunk. Oh, well, I did clean up a little bit. Not that much. Oh, Stefan Menes is here. Nice. Good day from Romania. Cool. So today we're going to start with this. And the box already says it. So when AllNet finally managed to get IOSS working and turned on, etc., I was like, well, I'll tell my followers this, but as always, I am going to test it myself. So I ordered this about 2 weeks ago. It arrived a few days ago. So that was pretty quick. And so far, no issues with import tax and stuff like that. So, yeah. You know. But there's something in there that I want to use. And that is a dig quad. No German version of that. No, we're not going to go there. Let's see here. Is there a tearing tab? Yes, there is. Because we have a nice and fresh dig quad in there. Hello from Wisconsin. Nice. So we're going to use that. It should be pre-installed with WLED version 14. But who knows? Let's test it. This has also not been turned on since I got it. You get this little spacer with it. It's just cosmetic. I generally chop it away. So we need some power. What are we going to power it with? 5 volt, 12 volt, or 24 volt? Let's power it with 5 volt. Right? Because it can live off of the screen here a little bit on the top. Isn't it weird that you order your own product? Well, I actually do that sometimes just to test out the experience. Because, you know, if I say they're good and they actually send you a package and stuff is working or not or whatever, same as with product testing. Well, I actually try it out. Oh, this version actually had 2 changes. We changed to a different capacitor over here. So this is now a slightly bulkier one. And they are now, depending on the batch you're getting, delivered standard with 2 10-amp fuses and 3 5-amp fuses. Because in the end, I think that makes more sense. Oh no. Okay, so let's hook this up real quick. Don't really need this hefty kind of power because we're not going to really power anything on this side, but you know, that's what I have on my desk. You don't need blind testers, ones that you pay to get the product and then report back how it went. Well, you know, I also you actually get free products like prototypes and stuff, Philip, so I'm not sure what you're complaining, Mr. CEO. But yeah, who knows. Maybe if I really don't trust it, but I knew this was going to work. I just wanted to try it out. So let's leave the other cable over here because we can use that later. And then we need a cable to connect from the dig quad to the sender 4, right? Because I'd like to get free products for review. Yeah, a lot of people would. But some actually do. I don't think Philip has much to complain, and if he does, he can take it up with himself because he's seemingly the CIO. It's not aligned. Oh no. OCD is kicking in. Let me see which one. I will definitely tell them. Actually, I have told them that I do need to align them. Generally they are, so I'm a bit surprised. Of course, this was a new change, so something can still go wrong. Wow, these are all misaligned. Oh no. I will fix this for you guys. That's what I get for streaming in 4040p. There. And there. Okay. So this wire has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wires. And we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Excellent. Now, I'm going to try and do this without ferrules, which is always a bad plan. But, yeah. Set the stream to 240 and you won't notice. Exactly. Is it still wonky? I don't know. Which device are we talking about? This one? That is to take in 4 LED data signals, coincidentally the same amount that DigQuad has, and transform it to a different type of signal that will go much further. So a normal LED data signal is a single-ended signal, so one wire, and we're transforming that to a differential signal that runs over a twisted pair cable. Being unferrule to that wire? What? So I'm going to try and use this cable stripper. It's one I got from AliExpress. It's, I think, in the latest Quinbox, actually. And see how it does. How much cable do I want? Still a lot of cable. Since I'm not going to use a ferrule. Oh well, this immediately fails. Okay, maybe I need to adjust this thingy here. Okay, well, that worked better. Good. But will I be able to get these into the terminals? I don't actually know. I normally use ferrules, so this is a new experience for me. Let's say that yellow is positive. Let's use one of the 5M fuses. There. Is that securely in? Yeah, it is. Okay, well, let's do that. And let's use black as the negative. I'm so used to using ferrules that I rarely ever use bare wires, and this is exactly why. Yeah, you know what? I've reconsidered. I am going to use ferrules because I don't like it otherwise. I don't know what that is. So let's get these to the right length. So, are most of you having a holiday, like on the last day before the last day of the year? Is that the right way to say that? The second last day of the year? I don't know. Or did you guys have to work, or what's going on? Why didn't I listen? I'll listen, Philip. I will use the red wire if that pleases you, Mr. CEO, Mr. Sir. Basically, a different. They're progressive soul. Yeah, basically with differential wire, you use a pair of wires, and those are twisted together, and they basically send a mirror signal, mirrored positive and negative, and that way it is a lot more noise immune and can go a lot further than a regular signal that you'd use on a PCB or something like that. OCD. Oh yes. Oh, exotic sports car has been off for the last 2 weeks and starts again on the 2nd. Okay. Nice. Well, 2 weeks off is nice. My crimper. See if I got the right size. Yeah, I think so. I always try to cheat during these live streams because I think things take too long, but that's just how long things take. Can't help it. And for the next live stream, we'll already have, or whatever live stream or video, we'll then already have this cable and people will know how to make it. $60 amp wire. What? These, I don't actually know what these are. It's not very thick. Small diameter. They're probably a 22 gauge or something like that, yeah. But they only have to carry a little bit of power and some data signals, so. There. The fast forward button is not working, exactly. It's almost like real life. Last one, and then we might need to squish them so that they go in easier. Little Papa John it's weekend now, so no working. For me, I have 1.5 weeks off. Nice. I like having off during the end of the year. 60 amps would glow with this type of cable. Yeah, probably. We did that power test well, it's been a while now, where we ran 40 amps through, I think it was 22 or 24 gauge. That got hot. Holy shit. Okay, so to appease our overlord here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I will use the red wire for positive. And I'll use the black wire for the negative. So there is no guaranteed. Generally, we say that up to 10 meters or 32 feet should work fine. But the problem is with the type of data signal it is, basically, it's very susceptible to outside disturbances. So in a very bad situations, you might only get 1 meter far or something like that. But generally, what we see is that 10 meters or 32 feet is, well, it's basically, it works 99 or 95% of the time. And for when you need to go further than that, or if it doesn't work, that's the solution we're building right now. Because with this kind of solution, we could make it 500 meters or something like that. Actually, that is the first test we're going to do. I have a bunch of these cable connector blocks for RJ45, and we are going to string every single cable I have over here. Well, not every single one, but every long cable I have over here together, and see how far we get. Okay, so this side is now wired up, so we can move that slightly off screen, I guess. Now we need to do the other side. This is the most cabling we're going to do, actually, because the rest is all going to be RJ45. Well, we do have to hook up the LEDs, but yeah. Okay. I'm actually going to run out of my 0.5 millimeters here. Oh no. But I have a bag still on my desk from a Quinn box ago, which has another 1,000 pieces. So let's see if I can do that slightly coordinated. Because I knew I was running out of some variants, so I ordered a little bag. Oh no, there we go. There! Now we have plenty again. Oh, they look the same. Pretty good, pretty good. Chief Drinking Officer. That will be Johnny, I think, then. Or at least that's what I think he does at the bar. Oh, Johnny is Chief Influencer. Nice. Can you establish, like, a TikTok presence for me, Johnny? And let's see. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, Facebook. All the socials I'm bad at. Yeah, so the way my system is going to work, there will be a sender board, which is these guys. And then there will be receiver boards. But once I finish this cable, we are going to take a look at what we built yesterday. And I will explain how it all works. You're going to get fired? What? I should buy the Viral LEDs account and then make commercials like, now we're actually selling LED controllers and not just a D1 Mini in a box. Oh yeah, that's a good one, Danny. I always forget to do that. Okay, one more. Hey there, Ray. Live again, Quindor. Did you get new batteries for Christmas? No, I still have lots of battery cells in my garage. I just haven't done anything with them yet. Okay, so what we're going to do, I'm going to hook this up, and then we're going to talk about what this actually does. Now, these screw terminals still have the flathead style screw terminal, or flathead style screws, but once they go into production, they should get a Phillips head, because I like that better. The dig to analog, actually, the first batch also had this flat head style, but the second batch now should have the Phillips head style. Right, so we used red and black for positive and negative. So positive goes here. And negative goes here. And then the first data channel is green. And then we have blue, white, and yellow. I'm just mimicking what I did on the other side in regards to order. You would have to snip the ends off? No, that's fine. Those can be there. I have thought about screwless terminals, but I haven't been able to find any which are either A, affordable, or B, take everything from unstranded or from stranded wire to solid wire to wire with wire ferrules on there, and do that well and have the amperage rating. And I saw his video today, Johnny, but I don't know what company that is, but because I saw some shorts from him and those are pretty good, and if that's from his normal long form content, you know, I'd give that a try. You have to go with the times, right? Okay, so now we have this wired up. Let's double check it. That is red, black, green, blue, white. Yep. Okay. So let's talk about what this actually does and why would you need this. Let's zoom out a little bit. There. So if you're having data signal issues and you want to improve those, we can transform the signal from a single-ended signal, which uses one cable, which is the type of signal our LEDs or our data signal uses, to a differential signal, and that is a signal over two wires where they are basically balanced and they cancel out a lot of interference that they could pick up along the way, and also make it so that it lasts a lot longer. So in theory, we could run up to 500 meter of twisted pair cable, because you need two conductors, and that would last a very long time and be very reliable, kind of like Ethernet. And we are going to use UTP cable, so 8 pairs, 4 times a pair of cables, so 8 cables in a 8 wires in a cable, and we're going to use the RJ45 plug, as you can see also on the board, and these should snap in nicely. So the system will consist of different lines or products in that sense. The first one that's going to come out is going to be the Diff Solo. This is the kind of less feature-rich product. The sender board. So how it will work, you will always need a sender board and a receiver board. How it will work is the sender board transforms the data signal into a differential signal, and the receiver board transforms that signal back to a single-ended signal, but then also adds a level shifter, a output resistor, It adds some power smoothing with a capacitor, reverse polarity protection, a fuse, and potentially also power distribution. So using the receiver board and a power supply, you're directly ready to hook up your LEDs by connecting the RJ45 connector. Now, these are the Diff Solo, and these are already in production. So I'm hoping to be able to list these soon, like somewhere in the first weeks of January, that they will become available. And they're very simple. You can do 5 or 12 volts here, and you can do 5 to 24 volts over here. And you can create one line. You can then extend up to 500 meters or something like that, right? What we're working on today, all the cats, yes. What we're working on today is the more advanced version of the QuinLED. It still says Data Diff here. I think I'm going to rename it to Diff just to make it shorter. So the QuinLED Diff system, and that is a sender 4. The sender 4 takes in, well, 4 data signals as we just took off of our DIG quad, and again puts those as a differential signal onto a U2P cable, like so, right? Let's unravel this there. And then on the other side, you again need a receiving board, but now we need a different receiving board because, well, we have 4 channels that are potentially going through this cable. So to do that, we have a midpoint 1 board. So for this one, you look up where the in port is. Let's see here. Okay, RS485 in, like so. And this can then be daisy chained, because what this board allows for is it has some switches, and you can select the pair you want to extract on this board. Let's say pair 1. And then it will be output again with a level shifter, resistor, a auto reset fuse in this case, because it's a more advanced system. It also has a nice capacitor and everything you need to drive LEDs. And then you can hook up another cable, go to the next spot where you need data, and on that next spot you could say, okay, and now I want pair 2 because I have had 600 LEDs and I need a new data channel to basically add data without dropping FPS. And then you just select pair 2, and now it's outputting pair 2. So the idea is that you can make a whole chain. What happens when you select more than one pair? Well, we tested that on the previous prototypes. Then it goes completely haywire. One of the new features that wasn't on the previous prototype, and that's this one, is, well, this one's actually, it got smaller, so that's good. And, well, some stuff has changed around and moved. But one of the features is it now has these 2 pin headers here for a jumper, and you can determine yourself if you need termination at this point or not. And that's actually one of the things we're going to test, because I don't know if that works yet. We could string along a few of these boards and select the same channel on all of them, but only terminate the last one, and then in theory all of those LED strips will be doing the same thing. But that's one of the things we're going to test today. So this is a midpoint 1, very simple. You just want 5 meters of, I don't know, 12 volt LED strip. These boards are also the sender board, 5 volt to 55 volt compatible. So these take a huge range of power, or voltages basically. The receiver boards are also 48 volt compatible. So if you want to use some of those new puck style 48 volt LEDs, or some of those Govi or UFI 36 volt LEDs or something like that, you can add this system to your setup, and you can get the data where you need it using this guy, and then this will run 36 or 48 volt natively. So that also solves that problem. Next to having the midpoint 1, and of course you can have multiple and then extract the same channel, I hope, haven't tested that yet, or a different channel in different spots. We also have the midpoint 2, and the midpoint receiver 2 is a lot bigger. That's because it has a beefy input terminal, and it can handle about 20 amps or so. It still has the auto reset fuses. It has a little bit more capacitors on board, but it comes with some nice big terminals here, so you can attach good large diameter wire. For instance, if you're using 5-volt LEDs, that is important. It comes with 2 data channels you can extract, and there's a little guide here. Now, this guide might be a bit small, but we also have it here on the back. So pair 1 and 3 are linked to data out 1, and pair 2 and 4 are linked to data out 2. So you can extract the pair that you need. And then for each of those, you can terminate those or not, depending if this is the last point in the chain for that channel. If that works. So yeah, you can combine all these into a kind of system here, with which you can transport LED data to wherever you need it on your property, even if that's hundreds of meters away, while keeping your controller safe inside of the house, inside of a weatherproof box, etc. And then remotely, you only need a power supply. That power supply can be whatever voltage those LEDs are. That is not linked to whatever voltage the power supply in your house is, so that is on the controller. So those are independent. So you could actually, and we'll test that today, run 5-volt LEDs on this one, and then run 24-volt LEDs on this one, and then run more 5-volt LEDs on this one, and then run some 12-volt LEDs on this one. It doesn't matter. They're completely independent from each other. That's also an easy way to check multiple channels with one strip. Just change the channels. Yeah, only 1 pair per output board, unless you have a midpoint 2, because that can extract 2 pairs. D out, I guess I should show the back, because that's a little bit more clear. D out 1 and D out 2, and then you have 4 outputs that are fused at 10 amps, 5 amps, 10 amps, and 5 amps. And everything's level shifted and has resistors and stuff like that. Yeah, you can check all the channels on any of the boards. And even if you have a single channel that you want to have at several boards or whatever, yeah. That is not required, Philip. In some situations it might be, but in the situation we're using, it shouldn't be. That is an RS485 thing. In theory, it needs a termination point on both sides to close the bus in that sense. But one thing we're going to test today is if that's really needed, or we can just run without a terminator. I don't know. The tests we did before were all with a terminator. So now the termination is selectable. Let's get some jumpers, by the way. So we'll see if we need those or not. Do we have multiple color jumpers? No. That's okay. Let's get some jumpers over here. I should have a box of color jumpers, but we'll use black for today. That is fine. Nice, Weston. Yeah, we love seeing pictures on the Discord in the showroom topic. It is, Philip. Yeah. So we'll see about that. Okay. So what I did first to hook up is I took one of these sender 4s we built yesterday. I hooked it up to my DIG quad here, which will send the 4 data signals, and a positive and a negative. The DIG quad is getting 5-volt. So we'll have to turn that power supply on later. And so this board is also getting 5-volt, but it should support 5 to 55 volts. So whatever you have handy should work in that sense. So maybe you're running some 5 or 12 or 24 volts locally. Then you just power the DIG quads with 5, 12 or 24 volts. And also hook up this board if you want to transport 1 or 2 channels further away, for instance. Right? Right, so the first test I want to do is, well, check if it works at all. Let's put the old versions here, then I can't get confused. Well, we'll use a small little cable over here for the initial test. Let's see, in is over here. All the channels are currently disabled. Good. And we'll use some, I don't know, shall we get some 12 volt LED strip? And we'll later get some 24s. I'm using the 24 volt because I have those terminated like that, so that's easier. Okay, let's open these. Okay, VCC and ground. There. Later on the stream, we'll also do some short circuit testing and things like that. Okay, so I have a VCC in label here that has the red connection, and then we have the ground here. Good. Let's find the plug for that power supply. That's interesting. That should be this one. Yes, it is. Well, they're dumb receivers, actually, not that smart. It can do some of the smart functions, but then mechanically instead of intelligently. But that also means that they're basically going to be a lot cheaper. The ground of the 485 chip is common with the supply on the side that it's on. So this has its own ground, and this also has its own ground coming from the power supply, yes. There's no ground shared in between. So I need some 12 volt LED strip. Let me get some, hold on. Oh, I might have some here, actually. Is this 12 volt LED strip? No. 24 volt I hate unnamed bags. Of course, I should have labeled them myself, so yeah. This is also 24 volt, I think. Yes. We can use that later. That's also 24. Okay. Got some 12 and some 5 volts. We'll use that later. So I got some WS2815s. Wouldn't that make it smart so you can have 4 receiver boards for 4 outs? Well, you can daisy chain them, so you can do that. It's the garage. It's the garage. It's not that secret. Oh, I hate it. The WS2815s come with these 4-pin connectors. Oh, well, they supplied one. That's okay. Okay. Now these likely won't need twisting because they have a solder bead on there. So for WS28, let me verify the connection here. Red, white, yeah. WS2815, we need a positive output, and the board has a, don't know if you can see that, VCC-F over here. So that's VCC fused. Let's open these terminals real quick. Yeah, in theory, that's one of the new things we're going to test today. Multiple boards can use the same pair as the output. Now, they'll do exactly the same. But, yeah, maybe in some situations that is useful. And let's see what color the data is. Data out is green. So we're going to bundle the white and the blue together, because that is ground and backup data, and we want backup data to be 0 so that it gets regenerated on the first LED. There. I could actually use one of those, I guess. I didn't think about that. That's a good one. Okay, let's get some of this wiring out of the way. I need to make sure this can't touch, so let's do it that way. Okay, we have the LED strip here. There. Now this is just connected using the most simple UTP cable. This is on the in port, so that's good. This only has out, so that's fine. And, well, we didn't actually hook them up locally, so who knows if this actually works or not. So we need the 5-volt supply and the 12-volt supply, because I, of course, made it difficult and hooked them up both at the same time. So let's try that. Let's see. Currently, there's no terminator on there because I think it'll work without for short distances, but who knows? Yep, just double checked everything. I think we're good. Hit the power button and lean back. Well, it didn't explode. And we have some pink LEDs. That's good. Now, nothing happened because I didn't select a pair yet. So let's enable pair 1. Ha ha ha. Pair 1 gives us orange. Good. Let me join up this... datasheet for WIMPs. Let's join this yeah, I still have a WAP here, WLED AP, so let's join that to my network. Well, I guess I can show you. Wi-Fi settings, scan. We don't have a lot of networks here, so let's connect it to private, and then I need to enter a little password. Save and connect. Okay, that should be good. Let's check my router, which IP it got. 10.24.1.140. 10.24.1.140. 10.24, yeah. No? Oh wait, that was my phone. 10.24.1.127. Let's see here, because so currently it is orange. Let's change that to red, blue, and green. Good. Now in WLED, the only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off the brightness limiter because we don't need that, and then I'm going to change all output ports to 300 LEDs. Now, of course, that's not really what we're going to have hooked up at all spots or places or whatever, but that's what we're going to test with, right? So red, basically this setup here, we have the big quad with 5 volt, sending an LED data signal to my little sender board here. Then we have this very short UTP cable to a receiver midpoint 1. It doesn't have a termination resistor right now, but it seems to be working fine. Let's set it to rainbow, because that always shows up well on the camera, I think. Rainbow, where we are. Yeah, let's slow that down a little bit. Oh, actually, let's not. Let's do... There. I'll save that as a preset. Save there. So this is an effect that shows up well on camera, I think. So the first test I want to do today is that RJ45 cable looks way too thin. Yeah, it does. But the first test I want to do today is connect as much cable as I can between this board and this board and see when it breaks. Now, the nice thing is about LEDs, they will keep doing the last thing they were doing if they no longer get data. So if I just pull this out, well, it actually did discolor some LEDs. There. If I pull that out, this will just freeze like it's not receiving new data. Because it's not. And then once I plug that back in, it is now getting new data and it works again. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this out and well, I really wonder about those terminators, because in theory it needs those. In practice, I don't know. So the first one we're going to hook up is this guy. This is 100 meter of normal Cat5e. So this is 24 gauge. Oh, actually, if I don't short anything, it says it there on the cable. This is 24 gauge Cat5e, a bundle of 100 meters. So let me hook that up here. And let's put this in between and, well, see if it works. What was the in port again? This one. Okay. Well, that wasn't... probably, Philip, yeah. And there is still a terminator on one side, because the one on this side isn't selectable. 100 meters is, yeah, it's fine. I thought about putting all the cable on my desk, but that's just going to be horrible. So, okay. Let's immediately go for broke. Oh my god. Okay. This is another 100 meters. But this is a special cable. This is 23 gauge. Does it show it somewhere? Yeah, so this is Cat6 23 gauge, right? But we're going to use that anyway. Let's put it over here. Oh, no, I didn't. I'm abusing my camera stand here for the cables. So I'm going to take this side. I'm going to put one of these connector block thingies. And then I'm going to put that cable there. But I don't want to take that cable off the roll, basically. So I'm going to take another one of those connector block thingies. And we're going to add, I don't know, what's this? This looks like 50 meters. We're also going to add this one. This is 50 meters. So then we're up to 250 meters. Because otherwise I can't really manage it with the wires. There. Oh, no, other way around. Okay. And now we will plug this one into here. Well, we're up to 250 meters. Well, there is a jumper here for the Terminator. So if you want the Terminator, that's fine. We can actually test it by adding the Terminator, I guess. But I kind of thought, like, okay, I'll just keep going until it doesn't work anymore. So far, it's going well. So we're going to immediately try and go for broke again. Because... hold on. I have this box here. This box here of cable. Okay, it's heavy. And I believe last time we checked, but we'll do that again. Let me make sure I have a connector block on here, because otherwise I'm getting confused. There. Last time we checked how much cable was still in there. Getting tied up in my chair controls. Okay, let's see here. This is 165 meter. Okay, and this is 001 meter. So this is a good. Now where is it? 165 meter. Let's call it 150. So we're at 250. Oh no. And we're adding another 150. So that brings us to 400 meters. Okay. 400 meters. Oh. It's a bit dusty. Oh no. Oh, look at that. That's not right. It's not working. Of course, these cables are all spooled up. You shouldn't do that. But okay, this isn't working. So now I'm going to turn it off. Okay. And I'm going to add the resistor jumper. There. So I added the little jumper here. Let's turn it back on. Well, orange works. That's good. But the solid effects don't refresh as often. So let me get the WLED back and go to rainbow. Oh, look at that. Adding the resistor worked. Sure, Mark, that of course works, but in some situations, you might want the controller inside, if you need to reset it or reach it or whatever, and just a dumb, cheap thing outside in a box or something like that. Or you have a controller in one spot, but like 10 or 20 or 50 meters away, you need to add another data channel from the same controller, because then your effects will be continuous. If you're running like an LED strip around your room or along a ridge in your garden or I don't know where, then something like this can help there, because otherwise the data signal would become a problem. You couldn't bridge the gap basically between where the first data ends and where the second data port should begin after 600 LEDs. And this solution would fix that. Oh, the resistor on the Dig Quad is set to the default 249, but for this this short of a cable, that really doesn't matter that much. It's actually probably better on 249 than 33R. Fitz58, evening all from the UK. Can't stay and watch live tonight, but I just wanted to wish everyone a Happy New Year. Same to you, guy. Or girl, or B-Fitz. Well, the sender board needs to get a good signal, but the D-Quad supplies that. That's no problem. Right, so this works. No problem with the resistor. But now we see the difference of the resistor. Up to 250 meter, we didn't need the resistor, and it worked okay. But seemingly beyond that, and it could be 300 or 400 or whatever, I don't know. That is true, Mark. But if you're using, for instance, 24 volt strip with 5 centimeter zones, you hit that limit a lot less quick. So, yeah. You know, for those kind of instances, there are many use cases for these things. Okay, so this seems to be working fine. So, now what? I really should have bought more boxes of cable last time I was near Stefan. I thought I had enough. Okay, we're adding another, I think, 50 meters. My temporary holding solution is full now. Oh wait, I need a block. Oh my God. Everything's stuck in my chair controls for some reason. Okay. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, adding another 50 meters, it doesn't care. Okay. Let's add this guy. I think this is also about 50 meters. I don't actually know. I think it counts as 50 meters. This is Cat 7. And it's terminated nicely with some keystone jacks here. But, yeah, that should do. And then I need a couple block. That's cool. So this we're at 450. This is 5. This will be 500. I don't have any 50 meters anymore, so we're going to 25 meters. Let's just hook up everything. So that was 500 plus 25. I'll do that on my desk here, I guess. Okay. So more blocks. So that is another 25. Oh, there's dust in here. Hold on. There. So we're now at 250. So let's add another 25. Oh, 550, sorry. That's 575. Okay. I'll have one more 25 left. This guy. Oh, I need another block. Adding these blocks also doesn't really help the data signal, but you know. So this will make 600. Yeah, so we're now at, I can show you the cables better there. We're now at 600 meters. Yeah, I have some 10 or 15 meter cables left, but I don't think that's going to make a difference. This is more than half a kilometer with 6 or 7 couple blocks in there and things like that. And we can change the effects just fine. Let's do a color loop. Yeah, that looks great. Fireworks. Oh, it thinks there's lots of LEDs on there, so that effect isn't going to function correctly. Paletti. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. What is the use case for 600 meters? I don't know. I have no idea. But, I mean, if I'm going to sell this, I need to tell people, like, how far can they use this? And, well, currently the answer is 500 meters should work. Right? I need to tell them something. Yeah. Okay, well, distance test done. Now let's try to do something destructive. Let's pull off the resistor while it's running. Oh, okay. Okay, so without the resistor, it doesn't like that. Without the jumper. And adding the jumper back instantly fixes that, no problem. Yeah, the receiver board needs its own power supply, but it can be anything from 5 volt to 48 volt, independent of what the sender board is. Termination is key. Yeah. The Borjurka G5 is a good example for 600 meter. Yeah. Well, I don't actually know how far it'll go because again, I ran out of cable, but I'm done buying cable. I think 600 meters is plenty. Okay. So now we did our first test with a termination resistor and without to see how far we could get. Good. So I'm going to need these. The second thing I want to test is if we now don't use the termination resistor except on the last board, can we hook up multiple LED strips to the same channel, basically, right? So then we'll have 3 or 4 LED strips doing exactly the same thing, sharing a single channel. Let me try and deconstruct this a little bit. Yeah, but at least, I mean, if this solution is meant to ease the woes of having data issues, I think it'll do that. One moment, please. I need to put away 600 meters of cable. Will there be a distance limit if you keep adding receivers? That is a good point. In theory, and as we tested last time, every pair should be able to go the distance basically. But if we start tacking off pairs or taking off pairs basically, I don't know because that's new, so I haven't tested that yet. Almost there. One moment. So this is the 100 meter. Don't need that. But in theory, if the signal goes 600 meters over the cable, there is no latency involved. We checked that on the previous streams, and basically this signal goes at the speed of light. So there should be or is no perceivable latency, basically. Okay. Oh, that box is heavy. Okay. So let's get some 25 meters here. And, okay. How are we going to do this? I'm going to put this here on my desk. And this is going to be the first cable. If I can get it far enough. Yes, okay. It's not pretty because I stretched it, but you know. So the first one is going from the dig quad to the sender board to the receiver board over 25 meters of cable. Then we're going to add another cable to that which is going into the output of the first receiver board, and it's going into the input of the second receiver board. And we're going to remove the termination jumper for now, so no boards have a termination jumper. This needs power also, huh? How am I going to do that? I guess I could try and hook up my bench power supply to my other socket over there. Nope, 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 not long enough. Didn't think that through. Hold on. Hold on one moment. Oh wait, this one has it. Okay, okay. Yeah. Okay. So now we also powered up the bench power supply next to the 5 volt and the 12 volt. This is going to be 12 volt, this is going to be 5 volt. Yeah, I can take this cable. Maybe. It's not long enough. We'll have to do it over here, and I have to jank this in there. We already checked that on the previous prototypes there, but we'll do that later on too. Actually, we'll do that with this test, so we can switch it between channel 1 and 2 and see if it does the same thing or something else. So this isn't really made for forks, but I'm going to jank it in there. Is there a way to send a relay signal? Ah, that's a good one. You could use one of the other pairs for that, but then you would need a midpoint 2, because that has 2 data outputs. And then you could use one of the data outputs as a relay signal, yes. Okay, so that now gets 5 volt. I need a little connector thingy. Let's steal it from here. Yeah, these boards currently have only the 33R output resistor, because most people are going to use it for that, I've noticed. So the resistor switcher isn't on these boards just to spare on space, because that adds some more space and, you know. Okay, we need some ground. Oh yes. I try to think of anything I can think of to break it, basically. Okay, so now we've connected positive fused out data signal and ground. So let's connect that to our 5 volt LED strip. And now we're going to have something unique here. We're going to have this 12 volt LED strip and 5 volt LED strip. And in theory, because I selected channel 1 here and channel 1 here, And there's no terminator involved anywhere right now. In theory, it'll do exactly the same. Let's see if it explodes. No, it does not. Interesting. This now does not display correctly. Huh. Let's set it to rainbow. Yeah, okay. So the first board now doesn't work. And if I disconnect the second board, it still doesn't work. If I disconnect the output, oh, if I disconnect the output, it does work. Interesting. Well, this was a new feature I wanted to try. Okay, so with the output cable in there, it doesn't work. But now let's connect this one, and this one does work while it's also on channel 1, and this one is also on channel 1. That is odd. But now let's add the termination resistor. Haha! Ha! Okay. Well, that, so, no, I didn't bridge a line. So, we have this board as the first board, and this is now the second board. And the last board, or the last board in the chain, basically. So the last board in the chain has to have the resistor turned on, because otherwise the first board in the chain is just going to do gibberish, seemingly. Yeah, exactly, Karen. The cable has a 100 ohm resistance, but the RS485 chip expects 120 ohms. So there is a slight mismatch in there. But generally speaking, especially with the RS485 chip I'm using, they can internally adjust that, no problem. But yeah, in theory, it's slightly mismatched with the cable, but in practice, I did a lot of reading on that. It should be fine to use. Right, so without the resistor, so also if we disconnect this cable, it doesn't work on this side unless we disconnect the output. Okay. If there's a cable on there, it goes completely haywire, but then if there's a cable here with a resistor, it works great. Nice. Let's expand that. What kind of power do I have over here? I can use my bench power supply. Oh, yeah, we can do a 24 volt strip, I guess. Just 24 volts? Yes, but it might be RGBW, I don't know. No, this is the RGBW, okay. Okay. Good. They are the same, but this strip has a black coating, or a black strip, and this one has a white strip. So that's why this strip looks a lot more washed out, basically, because there's a lot of light reflection in it. If I turn the brightness down, you'll see they're doing exactly the same. Sure, I can do a jumper on. That's a good test, actually. Thanks. Just stealing some cables from the previous prototype. So, Grid asks, let's take the jumper off the second board. Second board still keeps working, and put it on the first one. Oh. Now it's very much confused. If I disconnect this one, oh, it's still confused. Uh-oh. Maybe I smoked the chip. Who knows? Let's disconnect the input. Okay. Still broken. Let's disconnect power. That doesn't look good. Oh, what? Oh! This board had something wrong enabled. Sorry. I accidentally flipped another switch. No. First fright, no, sorry, false news. I accidentally flipped one of the switches when I put the resistor on there. So that's when this happened, because there was conflicting data signals. But I had the wrong switches enabled. So now it's currently just LED 1, or a pair 1. So let's connect the... Oh. Okay. So having the resistor over here... So you need a resistor somewhere. So let's put the resistor here. Oh, did it again. Okay, so the resistor over here works. And the resistor over here also works. I don't know how that works, but it works. Let's turn the brightness down a little bit. There. I don't. This isn't supposed to work. I think that's not how a bus system works. But you know. So on the midpoint one, we made some, or I made some improvements. So the previous one had these normal 5mm style terminals. I upgraded those to 6.35mm style. So as you can see here, these holes are a lot bigger than those. So you can at least use 12 gauge, maybe even 10 gauge without a ferrule, and 12 gauge with a ferrule. It still has 2 data outputs, and I made some other improvements too. Resistor on both. Okay. Come on. Okay, this resistor is broken, I guess. There. Yeah. Resistor on both. Oh, wait, you can't even see that. Other way around. So now the first board in the chain has the resistor, and the second board also has the resistor. How does that work? So, I was talking about the midpoint 2. This board needs a slight redesign, or a slight change, where the labels on the top side... Sorry. The labels on the top side really aren't visible anymore. You can see this is ground, but it needs a little bit more space. Of course, there's the labels on the back, which explain everything. You got the VCC fused, you got the ground, the data outs, and where the pairs are linked, stuff like that. But yeah. For this, let's use my bench power supply. Try to plug another to the second board without a resistor on it. Yeah, I'll try that in a minute. One moment. Now this could be the pink LED version for Johnny or the non-pink version. We don't know. Okay, let's get another 25 meters of cable. There. Let's plug that into this one. So plugging that cable in didn't do anything, or rather it still keeps working. Let's remove this resistor. If I remove the second resistor, now the first one is going haywire. Unless I unplug the non-plugged wire. Now the resistor is passive, so that should work even if some of the boards are unpowered. So, okay, let's remove the resistor here. Then no resistor, everything goes mad. Except for the last one, if I disconnect the cable. Wow, Okay, let's connect that. Let's see, in is over here. And we want pair 1. Let's put a resistor on there. Okay, that instantly fixes everything. And you just asked what happens if the power is turned off. My bench power supply powering this board is currently off. So the resistor is passive. That doesn't need power. If you run, well, it shouldn't be affected. Just like Ethernet isn't affected, this is the same type of data signal, so that shouldn't really affect it with mains power there. The unpowered IC shouldn't matter. I saw a flicker here, I think. I'm not sure. It's working fine now. Okay, let's just disconnect the data signal here. Nope. It needs that termination. That is correct, Karen. That's a good observation there. That's why the last one is also always working. Okay, let's screw this in. So this is ground, positive data, and data 1 and data 2. Oh, this one has a kind of sad data pin, or positive pin. Oh, let's do it on a 5 amp circuit. Yeah, so these terminals are nice and beefy. So if you're working with 5 volt LEDs, you can get some nice and beefy cables in there for if they're further away. Or, and that's what the midpoint 2 also has as an enhanced feature, you can do power injection and distribution right on here. So you can connect your large diameter cable over here, and you can do about 20 amps just on this board as power distribution and fusing. So if you need more than one connection, it is probably wise to get the midpoint 2 versus the midpoint 1. So if you're just doing one 12 or 24 volt strip, just one output should be fine. That's enough for doing 5 meters of strip. But if you want to do 10 meters of strip or 5 volt strip, the midpoint 2 has some additional features for that to make that nicer. Okay, so now this is a completely different type of strip. Okay, as I said, the power supply is still off, so nothing happens. That's good. I have selected pair 1, because if I don't select pair 1, the termination goes away, so that doesn't work. And the terminator is on there. So let's set it to, let's double check, 24 volts. And let's give it 5 amps. Go. Oh, this one is even brighter. Okay, hold on. I need to turn it down more. Well, I guess you can see it. If you lose power on board 2, how will it react on board 1? And, well, I can't really test that. I will try. Well, if I pull off the LED strip, okay, that doesn't matter. Good. I'm going to disconnect the positive lead, but I don't want it to touch anything. Okay, there. Board 2 is now off. Doesn't affect anything, right? So this is all passive. This is not an active circuit. Yeah, the official way to do it is having the resistor on the last board. That is the official way it should work. Okay, let me turn power off real quick. Okay. Okay, let's power it on again. Oh, yeah, my benchtop power supply is still booting. Power. Okay, well this is green because the RGB order is different and we're sharing the same channel. But we now have a 12 volt, a 5 volt, and a 24 volt strip doing exactly the same thing. Of course, the effect looks different because this is 300 LEDs, this is 300 LEDs, and this is 100 zones. So, yeah, the effect doesn't translate the same, basically. And the colors also, because the color order is different. But what we could do is we could say, okay, let's create a segment. And the first segment is 0 to 600. And the second segment is 600 to 1200 because we created 4 data outputs with 300 LEDs. And now I could say, okay, I want, let me think. That is going to mess up the termination, huh? Yeah, that's not going to work. Yeah, so if I want to change this board, the last board in the line, from pair 1 to pair 3, which is the other pair that can go out of data output 1, I need to take this jumper. I need to put it in the last board in the line for pair 1. This one stays working on pair 1 for, okay, so let's, because it's the last one in the line, and like I don't remember who said it, but said very smartly, this doesn't need a resistor because there's no reflection yet. Let's turn that off, and now let's turn on channel 3, and in theory I can make that do a different effect. Yep. Let's turn that down a lot. There. So now these two boards are doing pair 1 or channel 1 or whatever you want to call that, and this board is doing pair 3, right? And it doesn't need a resistor because it's the last one in the line by itself. Yeah, that's pretty cool. You could say, hey, but does that also work over longer distance? I don't know. Let's see. Let's take 100 meters and just add that to the line. I think it's this one. Okay, well this one now doesn't like it. I don't know why. Let's see. Now why doesn't this one like it? There is a termination resistor on there. Interesting. Did I connect something wrong? Let me see. Yeah, so this is now one giant cable. Okay, seemingly it doesn't like that. Let's try with an extra resistor. Okay, extra resistor on pair 3 doesn't matter. Let's turn off pair 3 and turn on pair 1, and then it works fine. I am a bit confused why that is. Oh wow, okay. So seemingly, for some reason, the termination resistor isn't strong enough. Let's add a resistor to the first board too. See what that does. That does nothing. I put this giant piece of cable here, but now I can't read chat. Yeah, the first board is always terminated because the termination resistors are just on the sender board. But in theory, I did it correctly. Let me put this over here. Yeah. So let me explain. We have the sender board. Then we have the first midpoint. It takes off pair 1, no resistor. Then we have the second midpoint. It takes off pair 1 with a resistor. And then we have a third midpoint, which takes off pair 1 with or without a resistor. Then it works. But if I disable pair 1 and enable pair 3 works fine. But now the last one in the chain with the resistor isn't working. Unless no, disconnecting the cable doesn't help unless I do it on that board, and that instantly fixes it. Well, sure, it keeps sending on that signal, that's true. But does that matter? Because the termination resistor is right there. So the problem is that there's no resistor on here for pair 1 also. So let me double check that. If I move this resistor to over here, that won't change a thing. Okay, let's disable this. Let's move the cable to pair 2 and 4 on this one. So now I should be able to enable pair 4. Okay. It's still having issues. That's fine. Yeah, okay. So if we look here, okay, I can remove this. Okay. Yeah. The problem is indeed that we're adding cable past where the resistor is. So if you use it as a midpoint board, even though you put the termination resistor where you decide the end is, the actual signal still travels to other boards. So over the cable. So it doesn't actually end there cable wise, right? So if we now say I want channel 4 on this board, then I can extract that channel there, that's fine. And I enable channel 1, but there's nothing connected to the output of channel 1. And I have the resistor here, because if I take the resistor off, everything goes haywire. Now again, the resistor is at the end of the cable. Yeah, it must be at the physical end of the cable. Well, they all take the same signal there, Minnow, so yeah. There is a resistor per pair on the sender board, and on the midpoint boards there is only one for the channels you enable, basically. Exactly, Emil. Yeah, the termination was the issue. But that poses an interesting problem with the whole concept. So before, we would always terminate a channel. So if you extracted channel 1, that would effectively cut off the data lines from the rest of the daisy-chained boards. So now, if you select a channel, that channel is also still broadcasted over the data lines to the other boards. That creates a problem, because then it isn't the last in the chain, so the resistor doesn't work. You should have a jumper that enabled a termination resistor for all channels. Yeah, but that's going to become complicated very quickly. Exactly. You need a end plug. That's a good point. That could work. So if we'd have an end plug on the last board, it would always see... No, would it always see all channels? No, it doesn't always see all channels. Does it? Yeah, no, it does. It does. And so the looping on the board always sees all channels. We can actually make that. We can build that. Yeah, old school DMX with an end plug. Yeah. So let's say I get one of these. This guy. Oh wait, I won't be able to fit that, I think. Oh, it fits. It fits. Nice. A servo. Oh, I might, but I don't know where those would be. But I can use this and then get some through-hole resistors. Let me see if I have some through-hole resistors somewhere. I think so. Yeah, but I'm not sure they terminated in the same way. So let's see if we can build one. Hold on. Oh. In theory, I have a box here with through-hole resistors. In practice, I'll have to look it up. Oh wait, it's actually on my desk. Okay, resistors through hole. Who do we send the invoice to? Let's see. I have 100. That's a good start. 10, 22, 47, 150, 200, 220. I don't think I have 120. But as we discussed earlier, 100 should be close enough, really. 10K, 47, 56, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Now what's this? Baggy here. 10K, okay. Okay, let's use 100. Oh god, and now I need to do this correctly. So we need 4. Oh, an unpowered transmitter board. Yeah, that would work too. That's a very smart one again. Pedagogy, that's a good one. But we can make this work. Need a smaller screwdriver there. Yeah, I think that's going to happen, but we'll see, Philip. Actually, I can pull this out. So it says plus and minus on here, but that really doesn't tell me anything. And this is a straight through connection. There's no twisted wires in here, I think. So let's assume on this side. Let me check something. Yeah. So seen from this side, we need to do 1 and 2. I believe 3 and 6. I know, but this is kind of more fun, isn't it? Actually, we can just do pair 1, because then we'll already know. And I mean, the termination resistors can't hurt that much. There's no power over traveling over there, so. And otherwise, we have more boards. Yeah, B connection, yeah. This might be the way to get smoke. Exactly, Philip. So, 3 and 6. 3 and 7, that's it. No, 3 and 6. I'm an idiot. And then we do 4 and 5. And 7 and 8. Oh, wait. It fell out. Maybe. Damn it. Exactly, Leon. Yeah, this doesn't look janky at all. What are you talking about? Ow. My hand's getting tired from all the screwing. Okay. Yeah, I looked at the wires in the plug, and now the wires line up with the other plug. So I think, let me check. Yeah, the wires line up. So let's take all the resistors off. No resistor here, no resistor here, no resistor here, no resistor here. This one still works since it's the end of the line, but okay. So let's see what happens. Success! Okay. So in theory I can still turn this off. Yeah, so now only here only channel 3 or pair 3 is being extracted. Let me put this back in the box before I lose it. Are you sad, Philip? Did you want smoke? So yeah, that seems to work. Okay, that's pretty cool. Interesting. Exactly, Emil Bart. So I need to make a better version of this plug. $9.99. I'm hoping I'll be able to do it cheaper than that. It's basically a long-range data system there, Zawicki. Resistors get hot smoke. Yeah, a little bit. Shall we see how warm they are? Let's see how warm they are. Oh, they're pretty warm. 33, 34, 40 degrees. 28, 36, yeah. On this one, they will also show up, as you can see here. Oh, this board has started to draw a lot more power. That's interesting. Cool. Okay, so the PTC is 60 degrees. The buck converter is 52. Okay. That's not alarming, but yeah. The RS485 chips are 54 degrees, and the resistors are about 50 degrees. That's fine. Queen plug, yeah. I don't know if I'd make it a board or just a plug with the resistors inside, because it could, in theory, just be a very small plug because it doesn't even have to have wires inside of there, just a plug with the resistors crimped in. Right? But I'll have to discuss that with AllNet. What is the easiest way to produce such a thing? Yeah, the boards themselves, they're completely cool, not doing anything. LED strips are hot. 60 degrees. Shouldn't run it on the roll. Oh, this one's only... Yeah, here's a good difference. WS2815, 60 degrees. WS2812B, doesn't even show up. Hold on. 37 degrees. Inefficient LED strip, efficient LED strip. So that's the difference between single addressable 12 volt and single addressable 5 volt. It wastes a lot more power. And the 24 volt strip's pretty cool too. 36, 35. The termination board needs pink LEDs. That's a good one. But there won't be any power on the termination board. So, yeah. I get that. Adding it to the boards would be easiest, so that you could terminate each channel. No, actually, you'd have to do two things. You'd have to terminate, which is already on there, and also make the cutoff of each channel selectable. So you'd need either 8 jumpers or 8 dip switches, and then you get into you have to configure which channel you want and how the dip switches should be set, and do I need to terminate here or not, and that becomes a whole complicated ordeal in my opinion. See you later there, Fat Daddy. That's going to make the system too complicated for some of the users, in my opinion. No, Rexter, 4 dip switches cannot solve the problem. Don't have to be that complicated. Plate the plug on all boards? What do you mean? Place the plug. Yeah, I think the end terminator is easiest to understand also, Emil and Sparky. You make the plug built into the board. No, but the problem is, next to adding termination, you also need to cut off the data lines. So, if I'm extracting... if I want this to be the end board, I need to say, okay, stop sending this data line to other boards and add resistance. Right? Because this does two things. It blocks... There's no more cable coming after this. No, but terminate the board isn't enough, because we already have that. So, no, there is a resistor on all the boards. That is already in place. That's what these jumpers are. But the problem is if you start adding more cable behind the resistor. That's what we just discovered. So, yeah, just an RJ45 connector with the resistors in there. Yeah, so you need it at the end of the line. So I think a termination plug at the end of the line, you're overcomplicating it. What? Can you try and explain again, Mark? Because you need to do two things. You need to cut the data lines to go further, so they do not go further on the outgoing plug, and terminate it. How do I do that with one switch? I could add 4 resistors. No, still 4 resistors and 4 jumpers on all the boards will do nothing. The problem is you need to cut the lines from going further. You cannot have more wire after the resistor, because these boards all have the resistor on there. No. Well, yes, only the last board would need 4 switches. Yes, that's correct. Then it could work. But then you have to make a special end board. Then I'd just rather make a plug. Because you need to stop the signal from going further after the resistor, not just add the resistor. That's what we found out today. Sure, Mark, but then you have to add that feature to all of the boards. And then I think a plug is a cheaper solution. No, Pedagogy, you do have to cut the line. Well, if it's a last board, you don't have to cut the lines. But then we'd have to expand all the boards, including the midpoint 1 and the midpoint 2, to have 4 jumpers on there to enable resistors. Yeah. Sure, Perry, I could make a begin, a midpoint, and an end board, but that, production-wise, that isn't that nice, because and the price scales with volume, so then an end board would be more expensive than a midpoint board, and that's going to create all kinds of issues.
Remember all the happy times we had? Very much alike.
In theory, if we start using end plugs, we don't need resistors on any of the boards. DMX is also RS485. Aussie Robert, the previous prototypes did that, so any switch you'd enable would terminate that line on the board, but then we tried to add a feature where all of the LED strips are basically doing the same thing from a single data channel. And because of that feature, we now run into this issue. I do not want to add anything to the back of the boards. That adds way too much cost. Again, the resistors aren't the problem. You need to cut the data line. Von Tolkien, that would be way too advanced and need a microprocessor and stuff like that. That's basically what they're doing with the smart receivers, but the smart receivers are $30 a piece, and these will be much cheaper. Yeah, there's basically two choices, I think. Either make an end board, an end plug, or remove the feature. So, let's have a vote. Do we want to have channel pass-through? Let's make a vote. Oh, hold on. Start a poll. Channel pass-through feature worth it? Start. So basically, do we want a channel pass-through feature where we can have multiple LED strips do the same thing? Because then we need the end plug. If we don't need that feature and just want to strip off pair 1, pair 2, pair 3, or pair 4, and then it doesn't continue, then we don't need the end plug. Do we want that? Well, let's see. Let's give it... we're now at 2313. I'm gonna, you know, get something to drink. Yeah, but let's see. Let's give it until 2320. So 7 minutes left to enter the poll. Is the feature worth it to have an end plug, or do we remove the feature of being able to display the same LED channel on all of the midpoint boards and don't need an end plug? Yeah, we'd include an end plug with the sender board. That's a very good one, Philip. And let's say it costs, I don't know, $2.50 to produce. Can't we achieve pass-through through software? I don't know how you see that. This is a hardware solution. Scott L comes in with a $9.99 donation. My order for end plug. Boom. It's decided. Ask Arnold if we need a Terminator. Supply it plugged into the sender board. Oh, actually, we'd have to try that. See if it blows something up. QuinLED-Diff end plug. Yes, sounds like $29.99 to me. End plug can be a piece of PCB with resistors or just a jumper. Yeah. Well, it would be something like we built here, but just basically an RJ45 plug. Where's my? So I'll have to check what we can produce, but I think I'll be able to just produce something like this up until here, basically. So the resistors would be in this part, and you know, this is just your RJ45 plug. Resistors in here, no cable or anything on that, just, you know, this big. I think that would be possible. Pins and resistors on all boards. No, that's going to cost money too there, Mark. Nothing is free. Nothing's free. Because if I have to... one, it would make all the boards a lot bigger, especially the midpoint one, because that has to grow a lot, and the midpoint 2 would also have to grow. To add somehow the ability to cut off the data line, and add a resistor. Because what I'm thinking is we could add 2 resistors. 2 extra jumpers. And those would be if the signal needs to continue. No, is that true? Yeah, we need 2 jumpers. And those jumpers will be behind the pair that's selected if that needs to continue on or not. Dip switches are quite big. That's why I use resistors in certain spots. No, but I'm thinking we keep the resistors as they are, so you can plug in the terminator on the board where you need it. But the problem isn't the resistor. The problem is that the data line continues after the channel you've selected, which is then terminated. So if we just make two resistors, or two jumpers, where you can actually cut off the data line after the switch that's selected, that would do it. But that would mean the midpoint 2 would have to grow quite a bit. Well, that's a software feature there, von Tolkien, and certain effects won't do exactly the same, and this is a hardware solution, so it'll look exactly the same. Yeah, Mark, that is a way to do it. But another way to do it is by not allowing the signal to go further. And that only requires two jumpers. Or one switch, actually. Yeah, I could use, because these switches I use are special switches. I could add one more of these switches. Okay, whatever. And that could be the continue data line or cut off data line feature. Right? So if we cut off the data line and add the terminator to that channel, then the problem's fixed. Or we can leave the terminator off and set the data line to continue, and then in the last board in the chain, for that channel, you set it to not continue and terminate. Yeah, basically continue or end switch for that channel. Yeah, I could do that with a single switch. No, there's no hardware solution to do that, von Tolkien. That would need logic. I don't actually know if one of each pair is enough there, Sparky. I want to disconnect both, but the switch can do that. That's no problem. Yeah, so I could put a continue or end switch on all of the boards, like on the midpoint 1 here, continue or end switch, and then if it's in end mode, you just add the resistor to that board, and if it's in continue mode, you don't add the resistor. And that way you can end and terminate each of the pairs on the board that it ends. Or we could do the termination plug. That's true. It's so pretty. Yeah, add one switch to all of the boards or use an end cap. And the switch solution is more complicated than the end cap, but it is more elegant. Use a 3-pin jumper instead of a switch? What? Yeah, you can still have a termination plug as an extra if you want. Later there, Minnow. Happy New Year. Sure, we could actually do both. That's also an option. I'll have to look into, because a switch isn't that expensive, like 10 cents, 15 cents. That's fine. And then the switches could be in continuation mode by default. So then you could use a terminator plug, or you could, you know. All right. It's funny. Now on this board, I can select channel 2, which does the rainbow effect, or I can select channel 4, which does another effect because it's a different channel. Yeah, I get that, Philip. And in that sense, but then they'd come to the Discord and we say, did you plug in the termination connector? Oh, we've already passed our time. Hold on. End poll. Okay, we had 59 votes of 132 people who are here. Aw. But we had channel pass-through feature worth it. Yes, 89%. No, 10%. So the channel pass-through feature seems to be a feature people would want because, it makes for a flexible option. I'll check it out later, Emil. Yeah, people who aren't going to read, they're going to ask why isn't it working, and then we'll either tell them plug in the termination resistor or the end plug, or flip the switch for that channel where it ends to endpoint. Maybe, Richard, but that would go way beyond the cost scope of these boards. Then you can get a smart receiver for $30 and it can likely do all those things. But yeah, that already exists, so I don't have to create that. These would be much cheaper. Okay, let's do another poll then. Start poll. What method? Termination plug only? Or termination plug plus endpoint switch on all boards? Okay, termination plug endpoint switch. Okay, it's too long, I guess. There. Okay, we have a new poll for 3 minutes. In theory, Grid, I don't have one of those, so I can't test it. But in theory, it's doing the same as I'm doing, putting RS485 on 4 pairs. So in theory, it could work. Don't know about that, Aussie Robber. Yeah, I'd likely include, like Philip said, I'd include the termination plug with H sender board. Nice there, Ross. Thanks for hanging out. No, these are prototype boards, and they do support the pass-through feature, but we now learned that it's not going to work resistor-wise. So they're either going to need a change or a endpoint resistor. Dig diff fiber, yeah. Well, if you need more than 500 meters, I don't know what you're doing, but yeah. I don't have a solution for that. Or maybe it'll work, I don't know. So one of the reasons I am tempted to put a switch on each board is because it would physically cut off the rest of the lines. So then if you make the lines very long after that, it's physically disconnected, so it can't add extra noise or mess with the data signal for something that's maybe 200 meters away, because you cut it off at the end board where you flip that switch, basically. That is one of the pros of having a switch on each of the boards, because it's physically cut off from any noise that happens later on the line. And if something would happen later on the line, or you disconnect something and the termination resistor is now disconnected, everything in between will start to fail. While if you can set the end point or continue point on the midpoint board, it would physically cut it off, so then that's no longer a problem. We need 3 secrets on this stream because we are lagging behind on sequence with yesterday's streams. No, these are all secret. Sure, that is also true there, Shadow. So it makes it less error prone, but more work in theory. Yeah. The analog boards are coming along. I did some work on that last week, or this week, and we're still stuck on case stuff, but we are getting there. I would buy knowing a terminator would work. Well, if I add the switch, the terminator would still work. We could do both, basically. So people who like the terminator could use the terminator, and people who want to use the switches can use the switches. Have a good one there, Zwiki. Oh, you would buy now. Okay, yeah. No, but these are prototypes. They still need some final adjustments to, get them to production, but yeah, everyone can make their own Terminator. I just showed you how. I mean, it's not that hard. Well, then you'd use a terminator, Philip. Then you wouldn't use the switch. These will be pre-assembled only, sadly. The components used on these boards, I don't think most people can solder those at home. Yeah, I can provide a terminator with the sender boards, that's no problem. I don't know, I need to sleep on it. And also this poll, let's end the poll here. We got 58% for terminator plug only and 41% for terminator plug plus endpoint switches. So that's kind of divided there, with a slight win for termination plug only. I'll need to sleep on that for a little bit. Probably decide that next year. Sure, Philip. Sure, that's true. Hey, one of the good things is this has been running for hours now. And that seems to be doing fine. Nothing is overheating or, you know. The little sender board's pretty hot, but that's probably because we're inputting 5 volt. Is there a limit on the number of diff data per data port? Probably, but I don't know what it is. Oh wait, no, we still have some tests to do, but I think I'm going to take a quick bathroom break and look up my notes, because I outlined some more tests, but we kind of got stuck on this. Yeah, let's do some PTC testing and short circuit some stuff. I'll use all 4 channels at the same time. Well, isn't that's not very different than doing this, right? So, oh no, that's not going to work. There. So this is using 2 channels, but the 4 channels will work. We tested that on the previous boards. I'm not too worried about that. Well, I guess we could switch this one to another channel. I'm going to take a very quick bathroom break and be right back. Yeah. Okay. Whoa. Whoa. What? Oh, you weren't there for that stream. Okay. So let me reconfigure WLED then. Because I made two segments, 0 to 600 and 600 to 1200. So that would encompass data output 1, 2, 3, and 4, which each have 300 LEDs. So I'm going to make this 0 to 300. Okay. And this 300, 300 to 600. And then this will be the rest. Okay, and now we're going to say that this midpoint board isn't doing pair 1, but it's doing pair 2. And pair 2 is going to be doing blends. Oh, it's already doing blends. Let's make it do bouncing balls. There. Oh, wait. This is now too bright. Oh, this is also not doing anything. That's segment 3. Let's make it do BPM in a different color. Blue. Yeah. Okay. So now we have the... oh, this is also doing blends. Hold on. Let me change a segment here to... oh, no. This is doing rainbow. Okay. Right. So now this one is doing rainbow on channel 1. This one is doing BPM on channel 2. And this one is doing... oh, it's also doing BPM. Why is it also doing BPM? Oh, it's on channel 4. So let me change this guy to color twinkles in other colors. Well, whatever. So now they're all doing their own effect, and I can select, I can deselect this one and set it to channel 1. So now it's doing rainbow again. Or I can deselect channel 1, set it to channel 2. Now it's doing BPM. Can deselect that one, select channel 4, and now it's doing the same thing as this one. So that's 3 channels. Is that enough, Philip? Mr. Haugen, that will be the project after this one. It's not going to be QuinLED-Diff, but QuinLED Power Diff. And I actually already have some prototype boards for that. We looked at that in a previous live stream, although it wasn't titled that. It was just a random stream. But something like that is coming. Right, so I want to continue to the rest of the tests. And that is, we're going to test some PTCs and see if they blow up. That's always good, isn't it? So this is a 5 amp board and this is a 10 amp board. Let's test it on the 5 amp board while everything is going, I guess. I don't know. Can I move this a little bit? Yeah. There. Oh, now I need some wires. Some thick wires. Oh, these will do. So, first test we are going to do is we are going to short the output, not the input. Because the input would rely on power supply protection. But the output, you know. So I have a little red wire here. And I'm just going to touch this terminal, which is... oh, you can't see. This terminal, which is ground. And this terminal... which is positive. And this terminal, which is ground. Okay, and the board shut off. Sorry, yeah, no power visible. So let's release that. Okay. Well, that's uneventful. Little spark, little spark. So we can verify if the PTC is working by looking at the temperature. I don't know how, but we'll try and make some... Oh, okay, we can already see that it's 45 degrees, but it's rapidly cooling down. So, oh no, wait, is this the right one? I need to look at this one. Yeah, 48. Oh yeah, these are just cool. Yeah. Okay. So, that would have been a closed PTC there. But let's close it again and then take a quick look. So, there. Let's keep it on for a little bit. Okay. And let's have a look. Yeah, it's currently 52 degrees. It is rapidly cooling down. Let me see if I can do this with one hand. Don't think so, but we'll try anyway. Oh, yeah, lots of sparks. Oh, missed it. Man, this is janky. Hold on, I need to do it with my other hand, I think. Okay, I can just do it and then get the camera out. More sparks! Okay, let's see what it's at. 60... Oh no, I drew a box. I don't like that. Well, it's at 79 degrees now. 82, 84, 87. And when I release it, it instantly works. So that seems to, you know, oh, you can't really see the LED strip, huh? That seems to work fine. Now let's try it on this 5 volt 10 amp board. I mean, why not? Right? Let's blow it up. Good night there, Jamie. See you later. How can I remove this box there? So let's do the same thing. Oh, there was smoke. I don't know why there was smoke, but there was smoke. Let's see. These PTCs are now 120 degrees and 129 degrees. I don't think I'll be able to show you that. Maybe. Yeah, they're quite toasty. But once I release it, LED strip works again. Oh, camera, I was like, nope. What is going on? Why is it so confused? There. So these wires now got a little bit warm. But yeah, you can see the LED strip working. And I can short the output. Let me try and do that. There. LED strip turns off, everything is off. And once I release the short, it's working fine again. Okay, that's pretty cool. So that seems to work fine as a fuse. Yeah, there's a way slightly around that pedagogy. The way I've designed it is we're going to be using 55 volt, kind of like PoE, but then using my own method. And we can get about 100 watts of effective power, either 5 volt, 12 volt, or 24 volt, over a 50-meter distance. But yeah. What's working? Is it working already? Asked Dave. Yes, it's working. It's working just fine. We just short-circuited some stuff. Okay. The last test I'd like to try is hooking up a load bank to this guy. Just throw some bare wire into the pile there. No. Yeah, let's hook up a load bank. Let's see. Ooh, there should be one here. There. Oh. Okay, don't need that for now. This is 12 volts, so there's a 5 amp PTC on there. So let's try and draw 10 amps. See what it does. Now, this data diff solution is only for distributing data. Okay. Yeah, only data, yes. Okay, so let's hook this up. It's hooked up to this board. Data is still running through there. As you probably, by the way, could see, even though we were shorting out this board, data would just continue to the other boards, no problem. Why is that not working? Did I do something wrong? I am slightly confused. Is this one broken? Is my adapter broken? Huh. My load tester doesn't turn on anymore. Interesting. Let's see if we have 12 volt on there. Huh, my adapter isn't giving any voltage. Okay. Interesting. So it's dead, Jim? give it one more try. And these wires are in here securely. Yeah. Nope. No power whatsoever. Okay. I should have another one here. Need to dig it out real quick. Okay, new adapter. Where did I put that other one? Is that a proper adapter? Oh, odd. Very odd. Okay, let's see if this is giving off power. I know the overlay isn't active, but... Yes, 12 volts. Good. So then plug-in works? Yes, plug-in works. Good. Oh, that's going to be difficult to see. But I do want to have it flat on the thing. Okay, so we're getting 12.2 volts. And let's set it to... No. 10 amps. That's 120 watts. It can test up to 150 watts. And see how long it takes for the PTC to close on the thermal camera. So let's enable that. It's doing 108 watts, okay. And as we can currently see, PTC is 48, 49, 50, 52, 54, 56, 60, 65, 70, 80, 90. Okay, and as we can see, the power here is starting to drop. You can't see that, can you? Power is starting to drop. We're currently at 120 degrees. Yeah, and now it's at 0 to something watts. It's confused. Right, because now the PTC is closed. Because it's at temperature. So then it doesn't let through power anymore. And if I now turn the load off, you'll see that it pretty rapidly decreases in temperature. I'll put this load test over here, I guess. I don't know. So it's at 99 degrees, 80 on the coolest, and 97 at the hottest point. Didn't I used to have one with green in there? There, that's better. Jesus. So now, if we turn the load tester on again, we're able to draw the full load, but it will of course start to heat up again. And close once it becomes above 100 degrees. So let's turn that off. And let's actually go to 5 amps. Or, yeah, 5 amps, fine. Let's wait for it to cool down a little bit. Let's see the PTCs on the other board. That's over here. Well, those don't even register. Yeah, they're 30 degrees. That's fine. On here, also don't register. Okay. My power board is running slightly warm, but it's still okay. Oh, I can't mangle it. Okay, fine. Do it like that. So the PTC is at 62 degrees. I'll have to do some measurements there off screen to see if I should replace it with a higher value one. Other than that, the board's fine. Okay, so this one is now down to 61, 67. Let's give it a 5 amp load. Okay, well, it's staying the normal temperature. Of course, it's loaded at 5 amps and it's rated at 5 amps, so it's probably not going to decrease temperature much. Yeah, but it'll do that indefinitely. Very cool. Okay, well that was a very productive live stream today. Got some stuff to think about how I want to proceed with the midpoint boards. Either strip off the pass-through feature, so you can only extract the channel at one point and that's it, or add a switch so that you can say this is a continued pair or a stopping pair, or or sell a termination resistor at the end of the line so you can terminate it that way and cut off the lines. So yeah, interesting. 24 hours to go until next year. Yes. Well, I don't know any secrets there, Philip. This whole thing has been development and secret stuff. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm trying to think of something, but I share way too much. That's the problem. Meanwhile, load is still continuing. Nobody said they had to be QuinLED secrets. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Never too many QuinLED boards. Well, actually, I'm trying to keep the amount that exists down, because otherwise we just get runaway versions, and yeah, well, that's not going to work either. Thanks for your stream. Happy New Year. Is it New Year somewhere in the world already? I don't actually know. Yeah, don't know any secrets. And I think 12 o'clock is a very nice time to end the stream. I've got some more stuff to think about here, because 12 hours from now. Yeah, that's probably correct. Yeah. We don't have 24 time zones. We have 12 time zones. But, yeah, I got some stuff to think about how to proceed further with the QuinLED-Diff series. Later, Mark. So yeah, I think I'm going to wish you all a happy new year. Thanks for hanging out with me the past 2 days. We've been streaming for about 12 hours. No, well, 11 to 12 hours in total now, I think. Oh, we are so then, is it New Year somewhere right now? Oh, we're smack in the middle. No, then it isn't. Okay, no. Right. I get it. So yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching all year. I hope to see you guys back in the new year, and then you have a great New Year's Eve. I'm gonna send some fireworks into the skies, and not the LED kind, because I like doing that. I know some people hate it, some people like it. Can't win them all. Yeah, I hope to see you guys back in the new year with all my fingers still attached. And I hope you have a great time. Thanks for being here, guys. Bye-bye. Philip always does this. Comes in with a €5 donation after the stream. Happy New Year, everyone, and have a good time.
They talk about another kind of world. Another kind of world.
What are you afraid of?
I'm lost in old ways.
I'm not afraid.
Well, there goes nothing.